Alright. Hey, I'm Aqua or Aquarius of Fallen Snow if you don't know me. Welcome to this episode of my podcast, The Shootin Gallery. If you've been here before, happy to have you back. Thank you for joining us again. I'm just recording a quick intro here before we get into the episode, but in this episode of my podcast, I'm actually going to be talking to someone I used to go to elementary school with, and I haven't talked to them in literally years. I think we said like a decade in the conversation. And I thought it was so awesome that I was able to put up a story on Instagram and ask like, hey, does anybody want to hop on my podcast and have a conversation? And she hit me up and said, yeah, let's do it. And the conversation flowed as if we had been talking that whole time, so I thought it was amazing. Her name is Aaliyah, and she's awesome. She not only has experience with ethical hunting, but also like vet tech assistant experience. So she not only has experience with ethical hunting, but also taking care of animals. She has a bunch of her own. And then she's also maybe one of the strongest women or people I've ever talked to in my life, considering she's gone through abusive relationships, multiple concussions, she's ridden alligators, like all sorts of crazy cool stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy this conversation and you can truly take away that no matter what you go through in life, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, as evident by Aaliyah's story, right? So I just wanted to record a quick intro and give some more context before the conversation, so I won't take up any more time here, but I do hope you enjoy the conversation and the video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, maybe comment what you think of the episode or the conversation, and subscribe so you don't miss another episode in the future and you help us build the community. But yeah, that being said, I hope you enjoy this episode of the Shootin Gallery podcast. Thank you again for tuning in. I guess we could start with how we know each other, eh?
Hey, well, we met a really long time ago, by our standards, I guess. You were technically my first boyfriend for about 2 days. Until I pushed you into the lockers and stole my toonie back.
True.
Yeah, and that was, grade 1 love.
Yeah. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
because we were talking about how I don't think we've talked since like elementary or like really early high school, and that would have been like years ago now.
I don't even know if we spoke in high school, ever.
Yeah, maybe not even. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I think the last time we talked was probably around grade 6 or 7.
probably. Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
definitely been a minute.
Yeah. Well, and
Like what would that make us like 12 or something?
yeah, it might have been something around
Yeah,
there.
a decade ago.
Holy shit. That is insane. And it's awesome that we can just pick it up and just like talk like we have been talking that whole time,
Yeah.
right?
I
Oh,
am an honest and open person. Ask me whatever the hell you want.
that's
Yes,
awesome.
that is a real bug.
Oh, that's sick. What is that actually?
It's some form of mantis.
That's pretty
I don't know. I
cool.
have a lot of bugs and paintings.
No, that's awesome. I love that. But yeah, you said you spent some time in the States even. What was that
I
like?
did. Well, generally I go to the States every year. Usually it flips between Virginia and Florida, but we always drive down. So then we always hit like South Carolina and Georgia on the way down
Yeah.
if we're going to Florida. So I've been to a lot of the states, but goddamn, we need to get ourselves a Waffle House here
Yeah. That does
because
sound
I
pretty
might
good.
just die if we don't.
Yeah. Oh,
I can always
absolutely.
go for a smothered hash brown.
And yeah, is it like when you go down there, is it to see family? Is it just like vacation? Is it
Vacation. My grandparents have a timeshare, and I still live with my grandparents. So
nice? Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome. Well, and
always have, never moved.
yeah.
Well, I didn't live in Brantford for about 6 years. I
Oh,
lived in Simcoe. Well, about 10 minutes away from Simcoe, 10 minutes away from Turkey Point, 10 minutes away from Port Dover.
true. Okay, so like half an hour away from Brantford, kinda.
Yeah, half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how drive, like how you drive, I
True.
guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, country living. That's like where I
Yeah.
grew up in Scotland. It's like I prefer that over the city life, but you know, it has some nice there's pros and cons to both, right?
I forgot you lived in Scotland. So did Cove.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't mind it because we had nice, like, we had some forest in the back. We had like a pond or two, so it was pretty good.
God, I
Uh,
miss having a pond.
right.
Being so close to the beach, I could just be like, oh, it's only like 6 minutes down the road. I'm just gonna go tan.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Now I'm like,
awesome.
all right, getting the beach towel out on the bricks out back, and I'm like, we're Brantford living now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to like bring some bags of sand and lay them out.
Yeah, 100%. And it would probably be like sand that's meant for like a fish pond or something,
Yeah.
knowing myself.
Hey, if it works, right?
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'll still pack a cooler with like all my little snacks in it and just take it out to the backyard with me.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm at the beach, basically.
Yeah. You gotta relax sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'll bring my fishing pole and I can just like dip it in the koi pond.
Yeah. Oh,
I wouldn't actually ever do that though.
well, that's fair. I feel like, yeah, I feel like they could, yeah, they could hold up.
I have been in the koi pond though.
Nice. Well,
Multiple times. It's only about 6 feet deep.
nice.
My
And
grandpa has made me get in that koi pond a couple times to change the liner for him
oh, true.
or fix the bubbler.
Right. And
Yeah.
would you say that like beach life is kind of your preferred setting then?
Hmm. I would say pumpkin season is my favorite season.
Mm,
So like I love making pumpkin seeds, but like that's coming from a professional chef, right?
true.
So I'm every time I see a pumpkin, I just get excited. I'm like, oh my god, I can make pumpkin pie. I can do so many things with this. I want to make pumpkin seeds. It's just
Absolutely.
a fabulous time.
So
But
would
then my
you say
second was
true? But would you say like you prefer country like with the fields and stuff or more the beach if you had to choose between them?
have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
I think that would be what I would prefer.
It's like jungle island kind of.
Yeah, jungle, island, warm weather, and maybe a couple things with teeth that are a little bit too big.
True. That's
That
pretty
would be
sweet.
my preferred. But also, I want to go to Australia. So,
Yeah, you were mentioning that. And you said you've ridden alligators already, but not crocodiles?
not crocodiles. I think riding a crocodile would be dangerous. But growing up, my nickname was always Alligator because, as you know, but many people don't, I used to go by Allie.
Right.
Yep. Now I go by Aaliyah.
Oh,
So
true.
I was always called Alligator when I was a kid, hence
Nice.
my name tag.
Yeah.
So
And the fierce personality, you could say.
I guess maybe it might have something to do with the bitchiness.
No, not even. The determination we were saying.
But gators are just little swamp puppies. They're nothing.
True. Yeah.
Crocodiles will fuck you up
I've seen
in a heartbeat.
yeah, I've seen videos of like a guy with a pet, I guess an alligator, and he's just like stroking it and it's chilling on its belly. So yeah, that would be an alligator, definitely not a crocodile.
It would either be an alligator or a caiman.
True.
But a crocodile will fuck you up, and
And
you will never see it coming.
and is that just like a evolutionary difference maybe? Like
I don't know.
hmm,
There's a lot of differences about them, but they're just a hell of a lot more aggressive. They're not really like, they're not like a swamp puppy. They're like a swamp wolf.
okay.
And like they
Huh,
do freshwater and saltwater, and like they like regardlessly will just absolutely ruin your entire life, not just your day.
fair.
Whereas like you can survive getting rolled around by a gator. I've ridden I think 4 alligators now.
Whoa.
But also I can like when I go hunting, I take a bow and arrow and I ride a
Ooh,
horse and I snipe grouse. with bow and arrow.
Nice.
So I'm kind of a badass, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Well,
I'm
and
also a camp counselor, and I've taught many kids how to start fires.
yeah,
May or may not have lit a couch on fire with a whole bunch of kids and flaming arrows.
that's pretty sweet.
No, I'm just like the coolest camp counselor.
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to be the responsible one.
fair. Oh,
I'm just supposed to be the fun one.
yeah, you gotta have a bit of both, right?
Yeah, well, like, there's the people who are supposed to be responsible for the kids, and then there's the people who don't like kids and are just there anyway.
That would be me, like
And
just getting what's it? Credit. What's that thing you need for school? Where you're helping the community.
oh, you're oh, I know what
Community service
your
hours or
community
whatever.
service hours. Yeah,
That would be me, just like, I don't want to be here as soon as I can leave, let me out, but if this is how I get it done, sure, I'll help some kids learn how to survive in the woods.
I had those done before I even started high school.
Hmm.
So I
How'd
got
you?
all 40 hours in before because I did camp counseling and I also worked at my grandpa's brother's horse farm.
True. That's
So I did
awesome.
both. Kind of nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
because
learned
I
how to
know.
ride horses and I learned how
True.
to shoot arrows.
Well, and
Well,
see, that's a great, like, that's an awesome way to get that done because I know it held up a lot of people, or like they got to the end and they're like, oh shit, I don't know what to do for this. But yeah, considering you got that experience as well as the credit, that's awesome.
well, and when you ride in on horseback in front of a whole bunch of kids that are like 5 years old with a flaming arrow and light a couch on fire, they automatically think you're awesome.
Yeah, you're Katniss Everdeen,
Like,
like,
hell yeah, I am.
that's so sick. Well, and
Yeah.
then you even have experience as a vet, like helping animals on the inverse side of like hunting and stuff, right?
I mean, I respect, taking down what you need to when you need to, but I've never killed an animal
Okay.
and not given it
Oh,
good use or good respect. There are situations that need to be respected for family members. Like, there's a time and a place when you're like, I have to put my pet down. And I'm
sure.
okay with being that supportive person for other people and helping them through that situation and getting everything figured out in a very respectful manner. But I also completely understand, like, if you're hunting, don't put anything to waste.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I will take it home, I will cook it, and then I will make a bomb ass chicken soup with the rest.
the
Like, I'm not gonna waste anything if I kill something.
yeah, that is the best mentality to have because I feel like there's so many people who just do it for the vanity or they want to get like a deer's head on their wall or something. It's like, okay, if you do get a kill, that's cool, but if that's kind of all
Yeah.
you're doing and you're not caring about the meat or how you're treating the animal, it's like that those are the type of people that always turn me off of hunting, but I totally
Yeah.
understand your point of view. Like,
Well, and that's why I hunt with a bow, because it's a lot harder to aim properly with a bow than it is with a gun. With a gun, you're kind of just cheap shotting yourself.
yeah, it's
Like, you're
just
kind of taking the easy way out. Like, I have bugs on my wall,
yeah.
but like most people would be really scared of all the bugs I have on my wall.
Absolutely.
Or walls. There's 4 of them.
Well, and see, if they're not crawling around and they're not gonna touch me, I'd be okay with it. But then, yeah, if they're alive and then you might.
Like, I even have a little isopod tattooed on my finger.
That's
It rolls up.
sick.
Yeah, and I have a bumblebee on this side.
Nice. And
Yeah.
the isopods are those like potato bugs, right?
Yeah, potato bugs or roly-polies, whatever you want to call them.
Damn.
Isopod's their technical name, but
Yeah, because
most people don't know that.
I haven't seen them since I was younger out in the country because, you flip a rock or a log over, oh, you're going to see a bunch of them.
And they're just like,
Yeah. But
yeah.
then in town, yeah, I don't get to see them anymore. And,
Well, I've got about 4,000 in my room.
like alive or dead?
Alive.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
a terrarium?
I have a couple. I've actually cut
Ooh.
back on terrariums. I have a tortoise who's about 8 years old. I have a canary who's about 2. I have one leopard gecko who's about 10 and one who's about 11.
Whoa.
And then I have 14 frogs.
Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
hence this.
Nice.
That's a little tattoo of mine of a frog wearing a top hat and a
Yeah.
monocle, like the Monopoly man.
He's balling.
He is balling, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh,
Hopefully he
that's
wins
awesome.
the game.
Yeah. And I don't know, where would you say your like love for animals or nature stemmed from? Do you think there's anything specifically?
I honestly can't think of a time that I didn't ever love animals.
Nice.
Like, I have consistently always loved animals. I've raised a kangaroo, a bear, 2 baby tigers, some really big snakes,
Yeah.
which can kind of get annoying when they decide to pretend like they're a necklace,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you're like, oh,
Can
because
you
they're a lot
not?
stronger than a person. And
True.
like, I can put a person on their ass, but a snake, they can put me on their ass. Like, or in their mouth, I guess, fully
Yeah.
eaten.
Well, and
But
where were you able to help raise them? Like,
I worked at Twin Valley Zoo for a while.
true. That's so
Volunteer work,
sick.
and then volunteer work at Whispering Hearts Horse Rescue. 4 years at a vet clinic, and then other than that, mostly just pizza and Italian food.
Nice.
The things I
Wow.
do best.
Yeah. No, that's an awesome like not an awesome resume. Like to have all
Yeah.
that different experience.
Well, and back when I was living in Simcoe, my dog had tried to eat a mourning dove, and I ended up saving his life. And he lived for 7 years with a broken wing and missing half a foot. I've raised 3 squirrels. My 3 robins just left their nest outside today, so they finally learned how to fly.
Congratulations.
Yeah. There's been a raccoon. Um, I don't know. I have a really bad habit of like seeing like sad animal life and being like, "Oh, if you need a home, just come on in." Like my cat Tippy, she only has 3 legs.
Oh,
She was hit by a truck when she was like 2 weeks old,
oh my god.
and I ended up being the only person at the vet clinic that she liked. So I brought her home because we were doing construction, and then she never went back.
Wow. See, I
So
it must be like that connection to the divine feminine or like mother nature having that like
I guess, but I
yeah.
don't like kids.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
My kids are animals, and usually they walk on 4 legs.
Hey, honestly, I think that's totally fair and you know, it's yeah, to each their own. Some people just prefer different things. Yeah.
Yeah, but if somebody walked up to me with like a baby T-Rex, I would be like, okay, we'll build him a pen.
Yeah. He'd
He
probably be sweet.
can sleep in the bed. This is just my puppy. It's fine.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Well, and I wonder how far away we are from like a realistic Jurassic Park or something happening, especially with like AI and stuff.
Well, we're getting close. Have you heard about everything that they're trying to do right now?
Not entirely, no.
Okay, so they have brought back the dire wolves, which they didn't actually do
Okay.
because all they really did was just make a wolf bigger. They didn't actually bring back the species, but they are working on mammoths, and they've made like a very large jump with being able to make mammoths, and they're also working on saber-toothed tigers.
Yo,
And then once we accomplish that, we can get into the fancy little dinosaur chickens,
that would be
like
kind of
raptors and
crazy.
stuff, because I would totally have a pet raptor. Or a
Yeah,
carnosaur, preferably a mosasaur, but I don't think it would fit in my pond.
true.
It is
Wait,
like the size of a blue whale, so
oh shit.
I
Damn.
don't think I could house that, but like I would love it.
Yeah, and I could see raptors being Like, probably pretty easy with chickens and with, like, smaller reptiles, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something real quick. It's a little bit messy. I don't know how to flip the camera on here.
No worries.
1 second, let me figure it out. Yeah, I pretty much only read encyclopedias.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and one of those says dinosaurs. So the day they bring back dinosaurs, I am fully prepared.
True.
And I will have one.
That,
I don't
yeah,
know what kind though. Like, how do you decide?
exactly. Well, and then maybe you start, what's it, like what they do with dogs, breeding sanctuary kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, and then you end up with Jurassic Park, and then everybody gets really mad when the pterodactyls get out.
Or, yeah, dinosaur queen instead of tiger king, or...
Yeah, exactly. That would be perfect.
See?
I could totally do Dinosaur Queen. It would be better than Gator.
I mean, hey, so some would argue same thing, almost, you know?
I mean, it's like barely close. It's like as close as I can get.
Yeah,
Well, I've technically been closer,
true.
but it's basically as close as I can get. But
Fair.
yeah, I've
Oh,
definitely ridden a couple gators in my life.
that's
Like,
so
just like
cool.
maybe like 4-ish.
Yeah. No, you don't have to brag, but no, that's so dope. Like,
Oh, they duct tape their mouths anyways, but it's
oh,
really fun when they're like, all right, here's the roll of duct tape, do it yourself. And you're like,
oh, shit.
all right, I guess we're going at it.
Yeah. See, and
Because
that's
they
why.
like to roll.
Right. Yeah, do the, like, death roll, right?
Yep, but you know what I say to that?
Let's go.
Rock on. You can roll, I can rock.
Heck yeah. Oh, see,
Yep.
and that's why I was saying determination earlier, because I feel like you have that mentality where if you want to get something done, you're gonna get it done, eh?
I pretty much always have, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, I
that's
think
awesome.
I've been fairly good at that my entire life.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, somehow. I'm like, yeah, life can put you through the ringer, but like, as long as you can just hold your own,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter that I'm 5'6", 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I will take you down and I will beat you in any sport. And
There
then
you
I
go.
will figure out how to hunt and cook a meal. And then if you get bit by something, I can fix that.
Yeah. See, and that's why you said in the apocalypse, like, you'd be the person to go to, eh? Like,
I've always said, at least for the last couple years, I am a jack of all trades and a queen of broken hearts.
I rock
So,
with it.
yeah. I'm like, I'll take it. At least I'm not the Joker.
True. Would
Only
you say?
sometimes.
Yeah, like a little bit of a Harley Quinn in there, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Haven't been dumped in a pit of like an acidic combination as of
Yeah.
yet, but I am that pale,
Oh no.
and I have dressed up as Harley Quinn, so
Well, and you were
yeah.
talking about how you might be a little accident prone. It might even just be
Oh,
a a slip and fall in kind of thing.
I could see that. And I would probably have a baseball bat in my hand.
True. But at least there was the compassion was still there. Still a doctor wanting to help the Joker, right?
Yeah, well, and she stuck by his side.
There you go. Loyalty. That's a great trait.
Yep, I definitely am that, unfortunately.
Yeah, to a fault sometimes.
It only took me like 7 years to figure out.
True. What I guess you don't have to go into it too much if you don't want to, but what were some of the things you were realizing maybe that you weren't liking too much in that relationship?
The black eyes.
That's a good reason. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair. Holy shit.
the broken tailbone kind of sucked.
Jesus. And it was like I'm sorry to hear that. Like it's that stuff
Shut up.
no, I am. It's like
I learned from my mistakes.
that's fair. But I feel like it's frustrating to hear that people feel like they need to take out their anger and frustration on other people. Because especially I grew up an only child, and if I really got
Me
frustrated,
too.
I right? But I would hit myself, but I would never think, yeah, I would never think to hit another person or an animal or anything like, I would
Couldn't do
rather,
it.
exactly. So it is genuinely like heartbreaking and frustrating to hear that you and other people go through that, and I am genuinely sorry, but I'm glad
It's
that,
okay. I'm not asking for pity. I
no,
know it
no.
sucks, and I feel bad for every other person who's ever been through anything like that. But,
Hmm.
there are shitty people in the world, and you just have to learn how to be resilient against it.
Absolutely agree. Yeah. And
You have to do your best, and the minute you stop caring is when you lose yourself. So,
true.
the entire time, I still cared, and I tried my best. It didn't work out. So I'll move on to
Absolutely.
better.
Yeah. Oh, and that's such an awesome, beautiful point of view to have. And I hope people hear this and truly like try to take that into their own lives, because I feel like a lot of people can. What the hell?
Benefit from that kind of mentality, I guess.
Yeah, one sec. What the? That is such a crazy coincidence. One sec.
Mhm.
I looked up, and
Yeah.
on the edge of the flower pot that's holding this papaya tree in front of me, there is an isopod.
I told you.
That's crazy. And I was
The
gonna
best
try.
thing start in small places.
Yeah. See, I wonder if it's
A
uh,
miracle.
yeah. He could feel your good vibes and he wanted to come out and see what's up.
Well, that's something that's very important to me. I try to have good vibes. I try to be a nice person with everything I do. I try to help everybody that I can. And I just try to be a friend to everybody in the world and
Yeah.
everybody, including all the animals that like to walk past my driveway.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And I wish more people genuinely could have that perspective of life and like think about how much better the world could be if we did all like truly care about each other and not just like on a superficial level, right?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I will still throw you into lockers for a bag of Colonel's popcorn.
Well, I would hope you've learned since then. Like, you can get more popcorn. But yeah, no,
No,
you,
I still do
you, you gotta
it.
defend yourself, stand up for yourself. But yeah, no, it's, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And I'm glad to hear that it hasn't, like, it hasn't kept you down. It hasn't, like, you're learning and living and yeah, that's
Honestly,
awesome.
at this point, I don't think anything can keep me down.
Yeah.
After my 12th concussion, waking up not being able to speak English, it took me 8 months of rehab to be able to learn English again, and most people wouldn't even be able to tell that I ever had brain damage. So I think I'm
Yeah.
pretty decent.
Oh, yeah, you're doing amazing. Holy shit. Like, I respect it.
I'm doing the best I can, holding
And
it together piece by piece. It
yeah.
might be like one of those puzzles that's like missing one of the corner pieces, but like
Oh, that's not
we know
important. Yeah,
that.
as long as
We'll
you get
just
the.
paint it on the table. It's fine.
That's honestly genius.
Yeah, you
Oh,
take a picture of it, you take it apart anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
then you go and make yourself some good food.
Hell yeah. See, oh, this is inspiring me to even like I've been trying to mature and look at the world in a better way, but this is like I'm gonna have to come back and keep listening to this conversation and be like, oh yeah, look at what people can go through and still come out even better than before. Like, oh,
Well,
awesome.
everybody has to go through their shit.
Yes,
I've had
absolutely.
a really crazy fucking year, and the only thing I can do about it is try to be an adult and try to just keep pushing through it.
Absolutely. Oh, that's awesome. Like what would be some things that kind of came up this year that you've been working through?
So I split up with my ex, who I'd been with for 7 years. I'd lived with him for six. In December. No longer speak to my ex best friend. My mom's been going through some rough shit. I lost Sophie and Cleo, which were my two like best cats. I was in the hospital for stitches, and then I was in the hospital again because I had started drinking after I had split up with my ex. So I had to go through like that whole rehab, you know, situation. Went through it, got through it. We're here now.
True.
Now I just kind of wake up every morning at 5:30 and do Pilates
Nice.
and then watch stupid videos on YouTube.
Oh, that's all right. And
Yep.
and are you working through this as well? Like you're doing culinary school, right?
Yeah, so I'm in culinary school now. I had to quit my job when I moved from Simcoe to here. I'm at East Sides now. Um, kind of about it. My
Yeah.
culinary school's online,
Fair. Oh, that's
which is
awesome.
annoying.
Like,
It's just a lot of like videotaping yourself playing with knives,
true.
which like whatever. That's just another Tuesday.
True. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it could be cool even since you're already recording yourself doing that. I wonder if you could even start a YouTube channel or create content showing people what you're making or teaching them how to cook. Could be something
I
for the
would,
future.
but I'm just so busy.
Yes.
It's hard to find the time. And like I have narcolepsy, so like I never sleep.
True. Yeah.
Plus thyroid issues. So,
Jeez.
you know.
You got hit with everything like you could
Oh
possibly
no,
get hit with
I
that.
didn't even get hit by a bus. I got hit by a full fucking semi truck.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And
Literally.
all I can do is just smile and laugh about it.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
yeah, literally the embodiment of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I feel like it's a
Yeah.
it I swear I said it before, but I think you are genuinely invincible if you've been through all of this
I'm
and it's
not.
still no.
I'm not, but I'm trying my best to pretend like I am.
True. No, and
It
it's
happens.
I feel like that's almost like it is kind of a fake it till you make it mentality too, and it I feel like it does work because if
It
you
does.
yeah, if you genuinely think, yes, I can get through it and I will be joyful at the end of it or I will feel happy at the end of it, it genuinely helps your brain get through it as much as your body, right?
I fully stand by the fact that the best antidepressant anybody can ever take is laughing.
True.
Laugh and smile as much as you can,
Absolutely.
because it will always make you feel better.
Yes. And I will say from my own experience, I recently started taking like SSRIs, so like anti-anxiety, antidepressants, and those have helped me. It took a bunch of weight off my shoulders from the anxiety and depression. So I also
Mhm.
encourage people, if they are able to, maybe talk to a doctor or physician if they really feel like they can't feel that. Because before, I would have days where just I couldn't feel happy. I didn't see the point of living or doing anything. So I
Can't
can
even
also
roll out of bed to get yourself like a cup of water.
yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So it's like having both sides of that coin. I feel like for the people who might say, "Oh, I hear you," or everybody says, "Oh, just feel happy, smile, laugh," and they can't get there, it could also be like,
Baby
maybe,
steps.
yeah, absolutely,
Everybody can get there. I've been on Prozac for like 7 years or 8 years, maybe now,
yeah, and
since grade 8.
true. And would you
So
say that it's like, because I kind of felt like I had a chemical imbalance, or it genuinely felt like my brain almost couldn't feel happy or feel good sometimes. Like what I guess what did it feel like for you before and after maybe?
I would say it was probably a combination of like never knowing my father, my mom always kind of being a little bit grumpy.
Hmm.
Um, being stuck at home all the time, being in a shitty relationship, that kind of stuff. Like it just kind of it life can try to beat you down as hard as physically possible. And the only thing you can do that you can actually succeed in that will make you feel better, in my opinion, is to pick your ass back up and prove them wrong.
True. Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to do. You know,
Absolutely.
if I have to use, an antidepressant as a stepping stone, fuck it. I
Yes.
will.
Yeah. Exactly.
But like the best form of yo, you tried, you couldn't take me down,
Yeah.
isn't a push up. It isn't, like a bad mentality. It isn't getting mad. I spent so many days like crying and stuff, and like there was one day that I ended up going outside because I was so pissed off at myself for failing one of my English exams in high school. And I got pissed off at myself and I went outside and I beat the shit out of a brick wall. And I broke 3 of my knuckles. And my mom almost had to call the cops and be like, okay, this bitch is crazy. And after that, I went on antidepressants and I turned my life around. And now I've
Right.
decided that it feels a hell of a lot better to be happy than it does to be sad, even if your happiness is pretending will get you there. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Because you will make it.
And having that understanding too that like the bad things
Sometimes
happen
life
or
sucks.
yeah. And sometimes it feels like it goes on for years because it does, but you can still you got to look for the light at the end of the tunnel and just
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
every time I'm in the kitchen with a knife in my hand, I am so happy. I make the best food all the time, and I know that because I have to eat it.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like just finding like the small enjoyments. Like some people think that like my decor is a little bit insane,
Oh,
but it's stuff that makes me happy.
yes. Yeah.
So why not surround yourself by stuff that makes you happy? If somebody has a problem with that, they're not your people.
Exactly. Hell yeah. And that's I feel like that's what catches like people don't even realize they're getting caught up in it most of the time when they go like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" or "Why is that person doing that?" or "I don't like this." It's like, "Okay, it's not for you because it's not your space and it's not your life. Like live and let
There's
live."
only so much you can control,
Yeah.
and it is your life.
Yeah. And then you get to choose whether you feel happy or you feel pissed off or sad and it's yeah. That is one of the
And
most
it's a hard
powerful.
decision to make.
Absolutely. Yeah, there have been so many times where I wanted to be happy and then I would beat myself up for not feeling happy and it if you just take off that extra stress and just go, "Oh, okay, I'm not happy right now." That's okay. In a little bit or in a few days or months or whatever, it will come. I just have to live and accept the situation as it is, right?
If I fail an exam or something, you know what the first thing I do is? It's not going to be beat myself up about it. I'm going to go and play a video for my frogs and see if I'll get them to make noise.
Oh, yeah,
Because it'll make me smile. And then
true.
instantly, they fixed.
Yeah, that is pretty cute. Like, oh, like a
I try
little,
my best.
yeah. Is it
Or I'll
like,
go and I'll read an encyclopedia about dinosaurs. Or I'll be like, if I was gonna go out right now and somebody was like, you have to be eaten by a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be eaten by? And I'll be like, what dinosaur would I be eaten by? A choice.
true? Hopefully one that's like pretty quick
Question.
and yeah,
A mosasaur.
true. Which one would
It's
that
the
be?
one that jumps up and eats the great white in Jurassic World.
True. So just one bite and oh,
One
what's
bite,
that
you're
story?
gone.
What's that
One bite, you're
story?
gone.
Is it Pinocchio that ends up inside the whale and they have like a
I think so.
yeah,
I think it's
something
in
like that.
Pinocchio.
You might
It
find
has
some other
something to do with
people in
Jiminy
there.
Cricket, I think.
Yeah.
And he ends up being inside a whale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is an interesting way to like yeah, kind of take yourself out of the moment or change your perspective of things. It's like, yeah, what if I wasn't here right now? Like, let me think about something else and take your mind off it. Absolutely.
It's called palliative care, and I'm a professional in it.
True.
So, whenever you're sad, and this goes out to anybody, whenever you're sad, think of the dumbest question you can ask yourself. Just think about it for a couple minutes. Or put on the funniest movie that you love so much, even if you've seen it a million times. Like, I relentlessly watch Star Wars. It
Yeah.
is such a problem at this point.
Yeah. I've
I've
rewatched
probably
it
seen the
recently.
second and third movie like 1,600 times.
Honestly, I totally respect that because those are some. Once you really get into the lore and the story of it, those are some of the best movies I think that have ever been made. Like, or a series of them.
Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. I have 2 droids, and I've dressed up as Padme for the last 3 years for Halloween.
Hell yeah. That's so awesome.
I'm not going to stop doing it, and I don't care if anybody has a problem with it, because guess what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
My life, I'm living it.
Hell yes. Oh, see, that is such. I said it before, I'll say it again. That is such a beautiful mentality to have. And I hope that more people can, like, hear that and kind of take that with them into their own life because that is so powerful. That's awesome.
I hope so too, because everybody needs a little bit of a brain hug.
Yeah, for
And
real.
honestly, the best way to get through any part of life is to laugh it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing you can do, and eat good food.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Always eat good
Because
food.
what's it? The body is a temple, right? You got to take
Yeah,
care of it.
well, hypothetically, if
Yeah.
you're religious. I'm not, but I respect every religion. I'm like, yeah.
Well, no, yeah, in the sense of like, I
The
think,
Indiana Jones kind of temple, because that would be me.
yeah, low key, some booby traps in there, and yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also like, uh, what is it? Sorry, like back in the day when people truly cared about like the architecture and their buildings, and they wanted to make like, I guess they wanted to build buildings to represent like God or the holy spirits or higher power or whatever it is.
They
But
were basically doing what I'm saying, but like they didn't have the option of just being able to open your phone and watch a YouTube video.
yeah, yeah, they were doing what? Yeah, exactly. They
Like,
doing what
look
they
at
wanted
some
to
of
do.
the stuff that's inside of some of like the Egyptian lore or the Mayan lore. Like on like if you go to the ROM right now and you look at some of the hieroglyphics, you'll be like, what the fuck you mean?
Yeah, yeah. What's
It
going
makes
on
you
there?
smile.
Yeah,
It's important things that make you smile, or like things that you're proud of. That's why
yeah.
people put pictures of their family members on their wall. That's why I have a picture right here of my tortoise riding a skateboard.
Heck yeah.
Because every time I look at my wall, I'm like, oh, my son,
Yeah.
pro border.
Yes. That's so dope.
Mhm.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, that's fucking weird. And I'm like, well,
No,
I don't give a
that's
shit.
dope.
What
Yeah.
you think?
See, and yeah, those are probably the lame people that have like an all gray and black and white apartment, no color, no like cool designs or
Decoration.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no. 100%. I paint all my own paintings. If I
Nice.
want it on my wall, I just put it up there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Even
Yep.
the sunset one over there on your other
That
side.
one? Yep. That's me. So's the clownfish. So's the daisy. So are those two up there, the yellow and green ones. I did all the bugs that are like right here-ish.
Nice.
Also did the praying mantis and the whale and the snake and those
That's
other
awesome.
ones over there and the whale shark. And then the ones on the other wall too, but
That's
they're too
so
far.
sweet. That's so sick. I love it. Because I
When
feel
I
like,
get bored, I just go out into the sunshine and I just paint.
yeah, that's awesome. And then you get the best of both worlds. You're creating and you get to take in the world, right? Like,
And I'm not only remembering me fixing myself feeling bad, I'm doing a good job of it, and I get to take it home with me because I'm at home. I'm usually
Absolutely.
just sitting on my balcony and watering my cucumbers and beans.
Man, that sounds like a good life. Like,
It's not too shabby.
see, and
I don't get work.
I'm glad that you are like at a point in your life where things are like starting to look up and things are getting better for you. Because yeah, everybody deserves to have some good days and a good life. Like,
100%. Everybody deserves every good day.
yeah,
Like, days are what you make of them. It is your life.
yeah,
You have to live it. Choose how
absolutely,
you want to live it. If you want to be sad or angry every day, then that's your choice.
yeah,
And yeah, sometimes shit just hits the fan.
yeah,
There's nothing you can do about it. But the best thing you can do is dust yourself up, pick your ass up, and go and find something better to do.
absolutely. See, that's awesome. And I feel like this is a bit of a shorter one compared to some of the other ones I've done, but I feel like that's a perfect place to like set it down for this episode, and we could do another one soon, even.
Yeah, it works for me. We could go into a whole like dinosaur tier list if you want.
That would be pretty sick, actually.